Welcome on in to an I Believe Friday. This is where we get to celebrate the weekend that's ahead of us, and you let us know what you believe is going to happen as you head on into this weekend. You use the His Radio open mic through the My His Radio app. You open up that app, hit the open mic. You can record whatever you want. Just start your sentence with I believe. Scott will get us started today.
I believe I'm going to sleep way late tomorrow and then soak in all of the college football action. Cannot wait.
Come on now, Mama Liz.
I believe I'm going to hang out with my daughter tonight, having coffee on her back deck, and we're going to get some girl time in.
Nice. Yeah. Ninja, I believe.
I believe I'm going to make some friends at the church brunch event tomorrow.
Woo!
Oh, nice. Sounds like fun. Mm-hmm. Jake, I believe.
I believe everything that Scott said tenfold.
Yeah, all the college football and sleeping. Yes.
I'm Rob, and I believe I'm going to have a fun time with my son Eli tonight at the football game. Go Mavs, it's homecoming.
Go Mavs.
Big time.
Yeah, Victoria said, I believe this is going to be a good day because after about a year of teaching our son to tie his shoes, he can finally tie them with no help.
Come on, Victoria.
Go,
that's it. Through the My His Radio app, I believe Friday through the open mic.
I believe that I'm going to have a good day today and a good weekend at my gender reveal party to see what my baby is.
I believe Jacob is going to have an awesome 19th birthday.
I believe Appalachian State is going to beat East Carolina tomorrow. Go Mountaineers!
I believe I'm going to swim for the Lake Mary Dam swim, and I'm going to do it in an hour and 15 minutes.
I believe that my daughter will hear about a job as a flutist with an orchestra very, very soon.
I believe that God will provide enough money for us to pay off our credit card debt by the end of this year.
I believe I'm going to be able to finally have a come to Jesus meeting with my dog and clip her nails. I'm sure you can hear them in the background.
I believe I'm going to have a good day at grandparents' breakfast.
I believe in every promise God has given us in His holy word.
I believe we're going to watch sports this weekend.
I believe I'm going to do good on my test.
I believe that I'm going to see my granddaughter ride a unicorn.
I believe this is the day the Lord Jesus Christ has made. Therefore, I will rejoice and be glad in it.
I believe God's going to heal me, whether it be on earth or in heaven.
I believe my husband and I are going to make amazing memories with my two oldest granddaughters as we're taking them to dinner and to a concert tomorrow night.
Oh, you enjoy that. I believe Friday.
Woo!
I believe Friday. Weekend is here. Go ahead and use the His Radio app. Tap on the open mic and let us know what you believe on an I Believe Friday.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His Radio.
It's Rob and Liz in the morning, His Radio.
Look, her name's Carolina, and she was like, this dating thing is just, I'm over it. She had tried. She couldn't find anybody. I mean, she dated. Beautiful girl, dated, I guess a good bit, but just, as she was saying, just came up with duds time after time after time. And so she's like, okay, well, I'm talking to my friends. They told me I should take a sign out to, like, the street. And she did. She got an Amazon box in the mail. She ripped it, one side of it, and on it she put looking for a husband. And then she put her dating profile on it.
Kind of like that guy that you see in posts where he's holding up a sign in just different locations, that kind of a deal?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, she didn't have a sandwich board where it was hanging on her. She literally put her hands above her head with the sign, looking for a husband, dating profile, went to like Times Square, puts it all on her social media. And she said, I'm getting a lot of interest.
I'm sure.
She said, but I haven't found the one yet.
Not like that.
No.
I'm sure she got a lot of different kind of
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Prospects.
My goodness, I bet she did.
That's got to be hard.
Well, it tells me that, and I haven't dated in a good long while. I mean, I go out on dates with my husband, but 25 years almost.
That's how long you've been married?
Yeah, we'll be 25 next year. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, dating must be hard.
Well, it's got to be. I mean, and then you're doing all the swipes with the apps and stuff like that. The single one around here is Jake.
Okay.
And Jake, you use the dating apps, right?
I dabble.
You dabble. But here's what I'm hearing. The algorithms are all like whacked, and they're not really giving you the ones that are compatible. Am I right about that or not?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I think now that they're getting more advanced and there's more dating apps out there, they'll give you preferences. So, like, if I want to date somebody that's obviously Christian, it'll make it sure that that's a deal breaker.
If they're not. Wow.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that is really good.
And then you swipe right and left and all this other stuff. I don't know much about it except for swipe.
I guess, and I will be completely transparent. I met my husband online 24 years ago when nobody was meeting online. I mean, that was
true.
It was like, what? So I know it's more prevalent now, but I still think you can make your profile say anything you want it to. And so but again, if you meet somebody, way back in the day, and that's how you dated, if you met somebody at church or the coffee shop or whatever.
I was at a Christian event at a putt-putt golf course. Whereas that's where I met Amy, yeah.
But she could have said anything about her life, and you could have said anything. It's just that it's now at our fingertips, and so you're drawn in. Oh, they sound so good, and then you meet them, and it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
But dating...
And then the profile picture could be 10 years old.
It could be 10 years old. Literally could be somebody else.
Oh.
And not
that's tough.
It really
I think I'm going to go get a sign.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Gene is here at 800-447-7234. What's up, Gene?
Comment about the dating app. I tried all of them after my divorce, even tried Christian Mingle, and that was probably the worst one ever, and ended up meeting my future husband. We'll get married next Saturday at our best friend's wedding. My best friend ended up marrying his best friend.
What?
Wow. I guess you all know who you're going to hang with on weekends now.
That's right, exactly.
Right? That makes it so convenient. Tried the app, didn't work, was at somebody's wedding, a best friend's wedding, and then... How nice is that, Gene? Congratulations, by the way. Enjoy the wedding next weekend.
Yeah, congrats. Jonathan texted. Okay. He said, I met my wife online 20 plus years ago on something called collegeclub.com. He said it's not around anymore, but it was way different back then.
That seems like that was before, what was it, eHarmony?
I've never heard of it.
Right?
College Club, never, ever heard of it before. And I mean, I was on dating apps 25 years ago. So.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So all of a sudden, dating apps just started coming to the conversation this morning. Hearing from a lot of people who actually did meet their spouse, the one that God brought their way, on a dating app.
Yeah, or online, because Lisa texted and said she kind of met her husband in an Atlanta Braves chat room. This is wild. She said he had written a book that she found out about. And he wasn't in the chat room at the same time. So she private messaged him and wanted to know about the book and how to order it and all that. And I guess they started dating because they're both huge Braves fans. And then the rest is kind of history.
He's an author?
Yes.
What was the book, Lisa?
I don't know. I'm like, is it about the Braves? Like what, and I feel like it was about the Braves, but they've been together for 20 years now. Met in a chat room.
Beautiful.
That's so cool.
Pam's here at 800-447-7234.
Okay, so I met him on Facebook dating, and I had been single for 16 years, and he'd been single for 51 years.
Facebook dating? I didn't know that was a thing.
It is. It's a free thing. It's a free app on Facebook.
What was the first date like?
It was awesome, actually. I was less nervous than I'd ever been, and I told the Lord, I said, okay, I'm tired of this. I've done dating apps off and on for several years, and I was just ready to be done. I was at one time so, I want to say desperate, but not desperate because I wouldn't act on my desperation, but I was really wanting to meet the right one, and I'm like, God, send him. And then right before I met my husband, I said, okay, if he's not the one, I'm done. I'm just seriously done. And God showed me he was the one.
Oh, that is such a sweet story, Pam.
God does answer prayers.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Just so happened that there were just about 200 students, a little bit more, that were baptized at a lake just outside Auburn University. Amazing. There was this big event. It was called Unite Auburn, and there were thousands and thousands of students that were at this.
Yeah, like 2,500 kids showed up, but there were also like football coaches and some, pastors were there. There were worship. There was worship going on. A lot of things involved in making this event. And at the end of it, about 200 kids.
That's so amazing. Baptism just like that. I'd love to see something like that around here.
Oh, I know. And it's making like national news, which is awesome because now it's in conversations on platforms, like ESPN and these worldwide platforms. People are wondering, what is baptism? What is that all about? So people are starting to learn a little bit more as well.
Yeah, what was it? Just last year at was it the beginning of this year where there was a revival at a university, and then it spread to other universities, and it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now you hear something like this with a baptism in a lake just outside Auburn University with that whole Unite Auburn that went on.
You know what? Not better news to kick off your weekend.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
You're going to notice a different yellow line in the road. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. This is his radio. Yeah, it's not a part of the stripes of I-95. That's not the interstate stripes. It's a sporadic yellow line in the middle of a lane, and you can see it's changed lanes.
Yes.
It's gone back and forth, and the thing goes on, forget this, 23 miles.
Unreal. They they kind of know, like, there was some painting going on, but they're not really sure, like, why. Was the paint can left open or the paint sprayer up under the truck?
Right, 23 miles. So here's the thing. The local TV station in town followed the yellow line.
Well, yeah, they did.
All the way to a place, and it sounds like it's Roadrunner, to Acme Barricades. Acme Barricades is the name of the company where the yellow line stops. So they knock on the door, nobody answers it, but they say, and I don't know if this is a joke or not, but they say that the state's going to ask that company and hire them to take care of this because they strip lines off the interstate.
Here's the thing, too. I worry about those that are driving, like learning to drive. If they're getting out there, and I think if you've been driving for a while, you can probably go, okay, that's not supposed to be there, possibly, maybe. But somebody that's learning is like, what does that yellow line mean? Like, it's a continuous line.
And it's solid, which means you can't change lanes.
You can't pass anybody.
So you're stuck on that road for a while, for 23 miles.
Right. I think, and, again, if you've been driving for a while, you can, in your head, go, it's in the middle of a lane, like the white broken line is right there. So I think I can pass. But a new driver, bewildered.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
That encouraging way to start your day. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
I don't know if you remember these old things. They are payphones. You have a phone in your pocket. Why even have a payphone anymore? But these used to be on street corners. They were in front of convenience stores, this big bulky thing that had a receiver on it and push buttons so that you could dial a number, right? So all of a sudden, since these things have disappeared across the country, one showed up in a residential area in Washington, D.C., just in the middle of a neighborhood.
That's so weird.
And so somebody went, and they picked it up, and they called someone, and it worked. And then they noticed along the top of this payphone that's on a telephone pole in the middle of a neighborhood, it says jokes. And when you walk up to it, there's clearly instructions on what to do with this payphone. Yes, it does call people anywhere, anytime. But if you pick up the receiver and then punch the number 1, it'll give you a knock-knock joke. And then for kids in the neighborhood, if they want to hear a joke too, they press number 2. And there's jokes just for kids.
And you're showing me a picture of it, Rob, and it's lower on the pole. Like used to, it would be set up for an average-sized adult. So it'd be somewhere around 5.5 feet, I guess, in the air. This one's lower so that the kids in the neighborhood can reach it.
This is a brainchild of an elementary teacher. His name is Don. He thought, I want to do this and just have jokes, for kids and just make life just fun. He found the phone number printed on a website.
Okay.
So there's a website of old payphone numbers, evidently. And so he grabbed it and then put it in the neighborhood.
That is so wild that he thought to do that. Plus, he's got to pay. There's got to be some sort of a fee through the telephone company for a landline.
Yeah.
I guess that would be a landline.
I don't know. I really don't know that part of the story, but it's just neat that he's done that.
I love that he's done that for his neighborhood, for anybody.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So I just saw this thing, and it makes total sense that says that when our dogs are sleeping, if we talk to them, if we tell them things, They hear it. Their little brains light up when they hear us, even though they're sleeping. And I feel like my dogs hear me because I know that I can just barely say something. If I say the word treat, they're like, hello, I'm here.
You mean they're wide awake?
Yes.
So they snap out of their sleep quickly.
They sleep very, very lightly. Or if I go in and I pick up a bag of chips or I move their dog food bag, immediately they're at my heels. So I know that they hear me when they're sleeping. But what this research said was that they can take commands. Like they hear you in their sleep and they can then follow your commands. Like you don't have to say it again necessarily. And their brains light up.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm like trying to follow it as well. But I'm like, of course they hear us in their sleep. Because if you say come, they immediately come to you.
Yeah.
But
well, that means they're waking up. But are they saying while they're in a deep sleep, you talk, they hear you and their brain is...
And they're processing.
What'd they do? Put these things on their heads while they're sleeping?
Because it said their brains light up.
Brain activity? Wow.
I know.
I wouldn't let my dog go through that. I do know that Scott is a cat person. And I don't know if you've heard this, but his cats actually talk in their sleep.
Oh, excuse me?
Sometimes.
Yeah, they
talk.
Their ears twitch a little bit. Now, they will hop up if they hear the can opener going, thinking they're going to get some food, or if I'm near their food bowl. But they'll chirp every now and then, I guess. Is that what you mean?
Well, what they're saying is they hear us, they respond, they process what we're saying, and it's stored away in their little brains, but they can also follow commands. And I was trying to look for a video and let me see this happening.
Yeah, but Scott's cats talk in their sleep. It's amazing.
But what do they say?
They say lots of stuff.
Like?
Like what, Scott? What do they say?
I don't know.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Dwight is here at 800-447-7234. What's on your mind, Dwight?
Listen, I wanted to chime in on the cats, the animals being able to hear when they're sleeping, and I can verify for sure that my cats, they can be in a dead sleep, knocked out, and if I whisper their name, they'll start wagging their tail.
Amazing.
Wait. I thought a cat wagged their tail when they were angry.
Oh.
Not always. It depends on the motion of the tail and how, supposedly the motion of the tail and how fast they're doing it. So it can mean a variety of things. It could mean they're agitated, or it could mean they're happy.
When they wag their tail this way, they're angry. When they wag their tail this way, they're happy.
That's right.
This way's the angry way, and then this way's the happy way.
That's exactly right, brother.